our hayfield is cut down, and we did not do that. We didn't pay somebody to do it either.
On chickens.
Hi guys, Amanda and Rick from Whitewood Acres. Thanks for joining us today. So I bet you're wondering what happened to our hay. Well, I was just thinking about someone today. I was thinking about our tenant farmer and who should come rolling in but him on his tractor to do some work here on the farm. So with our acreage, there's a couple of pastures just behind this hay field that are fenced off, and at one time were being used for livestock. I believe it was cows. Now we have a tenant farmer that's been renting the pastures here since before we owned this property, and we were happy to keep the relationship going. And at the time we had never heard of a tenant farmer. We didn't really know what it was all about either, but I'm so glad that we kept this relationship going because it turned out to be a really vital cog in our homestead.
We both get something out of it. What we provide for him is a couple of things. We have the field behind us which just grows hay, and he'll let it grow, and then he'll come and he'll cut it, but we let him keep the hay. He uses it to feed his livestock at his own farm and some of the livestock he keeps here. And then we also have a really massive coverall. We let him use a lot of that space for his farm equipment, his big tractor equipment, and he keeps that there in the wintertime. It keeps it safe, and that's sort of what we offer to him.
So maybe you have a piece of property and you're wondering, how much could I make from this tenant farmer business? Well, let me tell you, I'm not sure what the previous owner was charging for our guy to pasture his cows here and store some of his equipment, but we don't charge him anything. We've actually come to find that bartering is much more advantageous to us than to take the cash, whatever amount it may be. So what he has provided for us has been invaluable. The first year that we had moved in here, the cows were still here, and we got to meet him, and we kind of made our own little handshake deal. And we needed a few things done here, so we asked him if he could do a little bush hogging around here for us with his tractor.
And for those who don't know what bush hogging is, which I didn't know what bush hogging was, it's like basically like mowing the farm fields and the kind of property that we can't get to with our mower. So
it's mowing on a big scale with a tractor. This land had not been looked after for a few years. It could have really used a little bit of grooming. So he came with his tractor and buzzed all of that off, and so we could actually see what our property looked like and what we were working with. So that was a pretty good start to the relationship. Now, as the years have gone on, we've come up with other things that we had needed and asked him if he would rather trade that with us instead of money. We always give him the option. If he'd rather just pay us, that is totally fine too. But so far, we've just bartered services, really. And we really enjoy his company as well, and I hope he enjoys ours. But we put in a few 100 feet of fences, and by a few hundred, I mean like close to 700. So we did 350 one year, and we did not know how to do that. Nor did we have the equipment to do that.
Yeah.
So we were happy to work with him, not just have him do it. So he came with his tractor, and Rick helped him kind of position the auger, and they did all the post holes, and then like the three of us put the posts in and filled all the holes. We bought the supplies, and we all three did it together, and we learned a lot about that, and we've applied that all around the homestead here on our own, on much smaller scales, of course.
Well, that's one thing that I do enjoy as well, as the work that we barter, but the knowledge, real knowledge that he's been passed down through generations of farming and stuff we don't know. And yeah, it might be as simple as putting up a fence. That might seem simple, but it's not. And there's a right way and a wrong way to do it, and he's very good at teaching us the right way to do things, so we don't have to spend a lot of time doing it the wrong way.
We usually have a handful of cows here. Every year they come in the late spring or early summer. They're usually here till about November or October, November. We don't do anything to take care of the cows. We enjoy them. Some of them have been here in previous years, so they kind of recognize us and they are very friendly with us, and we just really enjoy them. They're kind of like big pets, really,
Yeah,
because
that's
we don't
like
have any of the responsibility for them, so that's easy to say. So it's nice because we don't want to own cows, but it's really fun to experience them here.
And you know, like all animals, like when you get up close to them, you spend time with them, they all have their different little personalities, and it's really fun to see. Like, they're very playful, and we go around our walks and they'll come and run down the fence with us while we're walking.
Chase us, they like scamper.
Yeah, they like to chase the ATV around.
And they're sweet.
They are very sweet.
So there's other things that we have come up with over the years.
And there will be more. Well, we've had him, he's helped us move many things.
Many things, and that's just, you know, out of the kindness of his heart, because he does come by every day or every other day just to check on the cows, give everybody a welfare check, make sure they have water, and sometimes he is in his truck, sometimes he's in his tractor. But he's noticed, you know, when I bought I had trucked in a whole bunch of soil, and it was in forklift bags, and they left it all at the very front of the property. And my garden is very far from the front of the house, so I was painstakingly filling trailers and trucking it out here and unloading that, and it was taking a really long time, although it was keeping me very fit at the time. And he noticed that I was doing that, and it took him about 30 seconds to pick up that bag and move it right to my garden with his tractor. So he's done things like that a couple times for me. I had a massive dump truck load of chips delivered, and they dropped it right in our driveway, which was really annoying. And it was a dump truck load, so with shovels and wheelbarrows we weren't going to get it very far. And he noticed that had been sitting there a little bit of time too, and he came with his bucket and moved it all in like a few minutes. So, you know, things like that have been just not a big deal to him at all, but a huge deal to us. A whole bunch of backbreaking work that was saved for us. This year, he had come up with a proposition for us, which we gladly accepted. He just asked a few days ago if we would like some firewood as payments, which we were happy to say yes. We don't heat our house with fire, but we do have a wood stove in the garage, and we keep it pretty toasty in there for the entire winter. So a few cords of wood is excellent payment, if you ask me.
Yes.
That's a big expense for us over the winter. So he's saving us a lot of money, and also it's kind of stressful sometimes when sometimes the weather can turn, or even this year it went a little too long, and we needed wood, and you know, it wasn't really the season, and it was hard to get. So I'm very happy to have that coming in this year. It's something new and something that we could definitely use. So maybe you have a little bit of acreage and you might be interested in trying something like this too. You might want to do a little research into it. I know some people do tenant farming with growers as well as people with livestock. There's a lot of options there. There might be something you want to explore as well. All I can say is that I'm incredibly happy with our relationship with our tenant farmer, and I hope that it's going for years to come. Anything to add to that?
No. Well, maybe one day he'll teach me how to drive a tractor. Pretty excited about that.
Yes, that would be interesting. I hope you enjoyed this video, and thanks for watching. We'll see you on the next one. What is it, babe?
That's the end.